Assisi, in central Italy, is a city with a rich medieval heritage. Associated with a Catholic saint, it draws huge numbers of visitors from around the world. Assisi was the home of Saint Francis, a man so holy, some called him the image of Christ. Saint Francis performed acts of mercy for sufferers of leprosy, which was a highly stigmatized disease in the Middle Ages. Saint Francis became widely famed for his deep compassion. The current Pope of the Roman Catholic Church adopted Francis as his papal name. In June 2013, a huge controversy arose over the Pope's choice of words in a statement.
Il carrierismo è una lebbra. È una lebbra. Per favore, niente carrierismo.
The words came in the Pope's address to the community of the Pontifical Ecclesiastical Academy. He stated that careerism is leprosy, in a context equating leprosy with something negative or undesirable. Later, he did it again. Even the paramount leader of the Roman Catholic Church has repeatedly made inappropriate references to leprosy. This shows how leprosy remains deeply ingrained in the public consciousness as a symbol of discrimination. For centuries, there was no treatment for leprosy, and the disfiguration of leprosy sufferers was misinterpreted as a divine punishment. Those with leprosy were labeled as sinners, heretics in a previous life. People affected by leprosy were stigmatized as unclean. They were stripped of all their human rights and forced to live as outcasts. Some commentaries on the Bible depict people affected by leprosy as possessed by evil spirits. They were called lepers, which later came to be regarded as a derogatory word. This discriminatory language and this stigma became deeply rooted in society as the Bible expanded its sphere of influence. Even today, people affected by leprosy still suffer from it.
罪深い人として扱ってくれる。それを今回変えようとはいうわけ。我々はもう2度田波さん3度出したんか、クレームの手紙をバチカンに。2度出したんだよ。
Yohei Sasakawa has spoken up each time in protest against the use of this discriminatory language by the Pope. But he has never received a response from the Pope. Therefore, Mr. Sasakawa decided to organize a conference jointly with the Vatican to appeal to the world for the elimination of discrimination against leprosy. It is the first international symposium on leprosy in the history of the Roman Catholic Church.
このレプロシーの差別の問題というのは人権問題として世界で最も古い病気ではないかと個人的に考えております。さらに多くの人たちにこのハンセン病の問題、病気を治すこと、そして我々自身が知らず知らずに厳しい差別をしている実態をやはり明らかにして世界の人々の協力を得たいということで特徴的な世界でも珍しい会議がここに開催されるわけでございます。
菅さんの手紙からきっかけでこういうシンポジウムが開催されるっていうのはちょっと感慨深いものがあるじゃないですか。
そうね、やっぱりね、この戦い方っていうのがあるのよね。抗議だけじゃね、抗議文出しましたとかなんとかってそんなのはいくらやってみても意味ないんで、今日の会議で私たちの思いをその結論としてバーンと出すわけ。そうすると平和裏の中に法王朝も理解を示すということにこうなるわけなんで、もっと大きな力になるね。
For the symposium, Mr. Sasakawa invited 21 people affected by leprosy from various countries around the world. He believes it is important for people actually affected by leprosy to tell their stories and get the word out to the public at large.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Sasakawa's goal is to correct leprosy-engendered discrimination that has been overlooked for centuries by the religious world. In addition to the Roman Catholic leaders, Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, and Islamic leaders took part in the symposium.
Di usare all'inizio dei nostri lavori questa preghiera perché, come abbiamo visto anche dal video poc'anzi presentato, il morbo di Hansen colpisce molte volte.
Mr. Sasakawa thanking him for his contribution.
Thanks to the medicine, the number of leprosy patients declined. Yet, while there was an improvement on the medical side, the social problem of discrimination remained unchanged. Although they were cured of leprosy, they still continued to be stigmatized as former leprosy patients.
give them encouragement. Yeah.
People affected by leprosy were able to tell their stories directly to the religious leaders attending the symposium.
To the hospital.
I developed leprosy when I was 9 years old. It was a huge crisis for my family and the local community. The village elders declared that I could not remain in the village. My family ordered to send me away, become an outskirts. My father took me to a leprosy hospital and left me. I felt entirely alone during the 2 years of the treatment. In the process, I lost my fingers. After I was discharged, I went to home, but my family would not take me back.
They were afraid of utilizing the pathways we were using, thinking that the disease will be left in the grass and that they might be infected. They were hesitant to touch even the ropes of our dropped animals. There was even a time that the sisters were blamed why they brought us in their locality. The residents of the village wanted to petition for our ejection in the place. There were times that we were prohibited to work as paid laborer in their farm, for they might be affected by the disease.
Nunca quis engravidar, pois, como fazia muitos partos, via o sofrimento das mães da colônia sendo separada de seus filhos. E era dos traumas que eu tinha, de eu engravidar e ver meu filho ir embora.
Simply the fact of being infected with leprosy was enough to subject people to harsh discrimination and to be cast out from society.
Well, the trends in the last decade show a very striking future.
And these stories are not of the past. Even today, discrimination beyond imagination continues in the world.
Abbiamo il signore José Ramirez.
Forming an image of the L word and a fear of leprosy, basically laying stones of negative perceptions and attitudes that create stigma. How come this outcome? In my opinion, the common thread has been religion and the use of terminology among all cultures to create differences and fear of the unknown. By scrutinizing the Bible related to references on leprosy, one can easily find practices that are counter to the Ten Commandments. For example, persons with leprosy are forbidden to travel on a public road, forbidden to enter a church, forbidden to drink from a common fountain, and so forth. I am glad to announce to all of you that I daily violate these commandments related to leprosy.
Hindu scriptures have provided elaborate commentaries on why do people suffer. They believe of karma is given to explain all kinds of sufferings. Karma implies that if one has committed misdeeds in previous births, he has to inevitably bear the consequences. Of the Atharva Veda, composed before the first millennium BC, those who indulge with the prostitutes, commits adultery, and live an impure life gets leprosy. Scriptures, Garuda Purana says that murder of a virgin will become a leprosy sufferer. Another scripture, Dharma Shastra, say the suicides of leprosy patients were permitted by many Hindu religious books. Scripture, Matsya Puran, say that Samba, son of Lord Krishna, was cursed by his father with leprosy because he was vain. Leprosy suffering was considered as a punishment for the sins of previous births, and one is called upon to accept it as a divine retribution.
The derogatory word leper was also discussed as a major issue.
Não se elimina preconceito nem discriminação usando palavras que refletem esse lado ruim da patologia hanseníase. Enquanto a própria Igreja Católica, que usou essa palavra durante muitos anos, e no caso da terminologia lepra, que gostaríamos de ouvir hanseníase, faz com que a gente realmente se sinta um ser humano como todas as pessoas presentes neste mundo.
There were 45 different countries represented here. That's a lot of diversity and a lot of languages. But there's a commonality in the language, especially with the L word. The L word had been used 17 different times by a variety of speakers. So it's very difficult sometimes to scream up when you're the only one screaming about terminology and language. So I think that we can manage to do that here as well. I know the challenges that we face with the biblical history of the L word, that to go ahead and change millions and millions and millions of Bibles may not be doable in our lifetime.
Dignity of people affected by leprosy and their empowerment depends upon the attitude of the society. If you want to give dignity to them, address them with the dignified terminology as persons affected by leprosy or Hansen's disease. My request is never call them as leper.
To live as a human being. Even this most obvious right has been denied to the people affected by leprosy.
ハンセン病に対する偏見と差別は社会に今なお根強く残っております。ハードルはとても高くはありますが、残酷で悲惨な歴史を繰り返さない、忘れてはならない、その強い思いがある限り、それが私たちの務めとも思っております。
Il carrierismo è una lebbra, è una lebbra. Per favore, niente carrierismo.
That unfortunate statement by the Pope led to the holding of this international symposium addressing leprosy. The symposium concluded with the announcement of conclusions and recommendations. The conclusions and recommendations incorporates points insisted on by people affected by leprosy and by Mr. Sasakawa.
Occorre porre fine all'uso del linguaggio discriminatorio che rinforza lo stigma. In particolare deve essere abolito il termine lebbroso e il suo equivalente nelle varie lingue. Tale termine risulta essere un termine offensivo perché definisce la persona dalla sua malattia. Perciò esso va evitato anche nel suo uso metaforico, dato il loro importante ruolo presso le rispettive chiese e comunità di fede. È importante e urgente che i leader di tutte le religioni, nei loro insegnamenti, scritti e discorsi, contribuiscano all'eliminazione della discriminazione contro le persone colpite dal morbo di Hansen, diffondendo la consapevolezza che la malattia è curabile e non vi devono essere motivi discriminatori nei confronti di chiunque ne sia affetto e nei confronti delle loro famiglie.
レプロシーという言葉の中でそのレパーあるいはそれに類する悪い例えとしては使ってはいけないというようなことも入れたつもりなんで法皇さんに対する最大の結論が出たんじゃないかと私は思ってます。はい、お疲れ様でした。
The final day of Yohei Sasakawa's visit to the Vatican. A Mass is held specifically for people suffering from disease and disability. More than 70,000 people take part in the Mass. Among them are Mr. Sasakawa and the 21 people affected by leprosy who were invited to the symposium. As the Mass nears its end, the Pope delivers a statement addressed to Mr. Sasakawa and the leprosy-affected people.
Nel contesto del Giubileo dei Malati si è svolto nei giorni scorsi a Roma un convegno internazionale dedicato alla cura delle persone affette dal morbo di Hansen. Saluto con riconoscenza gli organizzatori e i partecipanti e auspico un fruttuoso impegno nella lotta contro questa malattia. Saluto con affetto tutti i pellegrini venuti dall'Italia e da vari paesi per questa giornata giubilare. Grazie tante a voi.
The Pope declares that the Roman Catholic Church will strengthen its efforts to overcome the problems faced by leprosy-affected people.
勇気を持ってね、なんていうんですかね、教皇にね、やはりなんていうかね、抗議といいますかね、そうしたことで近い将来ね、かなり見通しが上がるんじゃないかなと。要するに偏見とか差別がね、ぐんと薄まっていくだろうし。
Trazer toda essa participação sempre que participo de um evento me dá um ânimo, né? Me traz mais coragem e saber que o nosso caminho é por aí, que nós fazemos a nossa parte.
It's the beginning of a long journey. You know, nothing happens overnight, but at least we have opened up the doors, and now we need to open them up some more.
It's historical. Anywhere I'm historical. Anywhere is new place for me. This leprosy is God gift for me. God given leprosy for this purpose.
皆さんが今日はすごく幸せそうな笑顔が印象的でした。
そうね。吹っ切れたようなね気持ちの人が多かったね。
画期的ですね。
画期的なことですよね。本当これだけ大きな催し物でね。
お疲れ様でした。
いやどうもありがとうございました。
The words of the Pope will be transmitted to the roughly 1.2 billion Catholics in the world. Mr. Sasakawa's ideals and the voices of the leprosy affected have transformed the centuries-old history of leprosy-based discrimination. His steadfast belief is that one day the world will be free of leprosy-associated discrimination. The Vatican Symposium has opened the curtain on a new era in human history.